I had to make a video to tell the world that. Isn't that just so embarrassing? It is. You know, I'm pretty terrible at giving metaphors. I'm pretty terrible at giving examples in general, but metaphors, I'm like so fucking terrible. For example, it's like going to a bridge, looking at a car, and then buying a bike later, and then eating the wheel. Makes sense, right? It doesn't. That's the whole point. That was a metaphor for something that doesn't make sense. What the fuck does that even mean? Going on a bridge, looking at a car, buying a bike later, eating the wheel? That doesn't make sense at all. So, for metaphors, this is a cry for help. I want to learn more metaphors because metaphors actually help us understand. Stories are actually metaphors for life lessons. If instead of telling somebody an actual life lesson and being like an unsolicited life coach, you can just wrap it in a story, and it's just gonna be so much more memorable, so much more impactful and influential. That's why we love stories, because they carry a lot of meaning, they carry a lot of weight, they carry at the same time, they are entertaining, right? They keep our attention, and they deliver a huge reward at the end, and that's maybe the life lesson. But instead of just giving the life lesson in 1 minute, you can stretch it out into like a 2-hour movie. Movies are stories with life lessons in them, a lot of entertainment, a lot of attention grabbing elements, and you're just so sucked into it. I love movies. I love stories, not movies specifically. Movies are based on stories, so the whole thing is story. If something has a story, I fucking love it, and you're probably the same way. You love a story, and if a good YouTube video has a very good story under it, I'm gonna definitely watch it. So it's not just a movie, also documentaries, also albums, man. Certain albums out there have an incredible story. So you gotta listen the songs in order. You cannot skip the album songs. You just have to listen to everybody one by one. Every song one by one, one after the other, in order to actually understand the story. And that's what keeps you to consume the whole album, because of the story. So back to the point of the video, I am asking for help. How do I learn more metaphors? I could have just googled this. I'm so fucking lazy. Or am I lazy, or I'm just trying to make things more complicated? I'm trying to make a video. I'm hoping that somebody's gonna tell me how to come up with more metaphors, but I think that I should read more. But I don't want to google that, because maybe I'm just gonna confuse myself more. So metaphors are totally incredible because they just help us understand something that might not be understandable by default, right? If you wrap it in a metaphor, it's gonna be so much more influential, it's so much easier to understand. And I cannot give you an example right now to save my fucking life. I wish I could give you an example of something like, okay, this is the original sentence. That doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Here's a metaphor. That makes a lot of sense, right? So that's just the example that I gave you, but I cannot give you a good metaphor example. I suck at it, like terribly. And I had to make a video to tell the world that. Isn't that just so embarrassing? It is.